Hello again, back in David's shed. It's always worth a quick few moments just to look at safety, because here's an interesting tip you may or may not wish to follow, but I found it stood me in good stead for many years, since I had a close accident once. It came to having a serious head injury and eye injury, and this is worth remembering. So there's all sorts of this stuff on the market. There's a mesh face cage. It's made of a metallics mesh, adjustable head, fits on up and down, so on. There's also the standard, of course, eye goggles which you use when you're doing various bits of machining and so on. Something like this that incorporates some ear defenders. You've got a hard hat and a visor that goes up and down, chainsaw, etc. you can use with that. Gloves you'd use when you're using certain types of chemicals. Small gloves here, various types, gauntlets, welding gloves and so on. Just ordinary ear defenders on their own. The face masks you use when you don't want to breathe dust in, etc. There's various different types of those, elaborate and less so. Depends on what you're doing. There's plenty of this stuff on the market. It can cost a lot of money. All of it does the same sort of job. It just protects your face, hands, ears, eyes and so on. Or you can invest in a cheap version of something else which you can pick up second hand, or there's often one lying around that someone doesn't use anymore, that does most of this stuff very well indeed. And that is a motorcycle helmet. The great thing about these is they're lying around often in sheds, cupboards. People buy bikes, get fed up with them, they just lie around, or they just buy a new one. They don't get rid of the old one. They've often got extremely good protection on the head, so you haven't got to worry there. The visors at the front are made of very good plastic, and they allow that little bit of breathing under here, so you don't get issues with it all steaming up. And of course you're protected inside because your ears are not going to be damaged by loud noises or anything else. So this can cost you either nothing or £2 or £3 at the average yard or car boot sale or whatever, and it'll do just as good a job, in fact a lot better in many cases, than one of these, which costs, I don't know, £40, £50. It incorporates a lot of the features that some of these other things have, and it does them to a far higher degree. So for my money, I'd use one of these every time. People may laugh at you when you're standing in there with a crash helmet on, using your chainsaw or whatever, or you're doing some drilling work and you're protecting your eyes, but believe me, this offers a lot of protection. It's passed all the safety standards, which a lot of these other things haven't, and my money's on one of these every time.